Rocket League was a phenomenon when it debuted in 2015, and 2 years later, it shows no signs of slowing down. The unorthodox sports game is a mix of soccer and vehicular acrobatics that's immediately engaging, but a high skill ceiling ensures that you can put hundreds of hours into Rocket League and continue to improve your control over car and ball alike. In our original review, editor Miguel Concepcion said, "The promising concept of combining two wonderful things, cars and soccer, is equally magnificent in execution. It's unique, it's complex, and now that it's on Switch, it's wonderfully portable." Rocket League makes the leap to handheld courtesy of developer Panic Button, the same team responsible for the respectable Switch port of Doom. And similar to that conversion, Rocket League's visuals have been somewhat stripped down to maintain a steady frame rate under Switch's hardware limitations. The impact of the downgraded visuals can be seen in the game's jagged edges and fluctuating texture resolutions. But unlike a game that relies on a world to set the stage for characters and narrative events, Rocket League's Switch scars are easily overlooked. The only time when they may interfere is when playing handheld, where jagged models make it occasionally difficult to differentiate between objects in the foreground and background on Switch's small display. This, thankfully, is rarely an issue. When you're focused on a handful of other drivers and protecting your goal from a fast-moving ball, jaggies are the least of your concerns. And when subconsciously calculating your trajectory as you ramp up onto a wall and blast your rockets for a last-minute boost to slam a ball into the back of a goal from mid-air, you probably aren't focused on a blurry texture here or there. Rocket League on Switch isn't always a pretty game, but that doesn't stop it from being every bit as exciting and competitive as it is on other platforms. As someone who's spent upwards of 200 hours with other versions of Rocket League, I was pleased to find that jumping into matches on Switch was just as easy as before, in terms of both matchmaking and controlling my car in the field, thanks in part to the rock-solid frame rate. The decreased visual fidelity stood out in fleeting moments, but so too did the Mario and Metroid cars that I unlocked. These Nintendo-exclusive rides and their series-appropriate sound effects are small touches that make the Switch version feel slightly more special than it otherwise would have. This also goes for the local split-screen play. Relative to the constraints of playing on a small screen, it works as well as you'd hope, to say nothing of the surprising effectiveness of controlling your car with a mere single Joy-Con. It's small, but it gets the job done. Thanks to Microsoft's cooperation and developer Psyonix's handiwork, Switch players can engage in cross-network play with a wide majority of Rocket League's existing community. As evidenced during our pre-launch tests, this system works without a hitch, and matches are readily available. The one notable caveat when it comes to playing online with others is that creating custom messages mid-match is less convenient than usual. This is because toggling chat brings up a window that takes up the entire screen, leaving you without the usual live feed that runs in the background in other versions of the game. You do have the option of connecting a USB keyboard if you want to type out messages while your Switch is docked, which can help speed up the process. Save for its presentation, Rocket League on Switch is every bit the game it is elsewhere, and when you factor in its newfound portability, it's also the most versatile. That alone makes it attractive to regular Rocket League competitors. For people new to the game, they have a lot to look forward to regardless, as Rocket League is one of the most fascinating sports games in memory. Never mind if you don't like soccer, or could care less about the game's growing esports community. Rocket League is a unique game that redefines the concepts of what a sports game can be, and Psyonix continues to support it with new content on a regular basis. It's been around for a while, but now that Rocket League is on Switch, there's no better time to give it a shot.